I'm here now with the COO of Lift, Craig Hudson. How's it going?
Oh, it's going great. This has been an amazing weekend. We're very happy with it, yeah.
It is. It has been amazing. How do you feel? So this is now the second one that we've had in Vancouver. How do you feel it's been going so far?
This has been going absolutely incredible. We were saying that our expectations for the show were high, as they always are, of course. We have exceeded the expectations. This has been, we're waiting for the numbers, but this has been far larger, and I would say even better than the show that we just had in Toronto, which is just, it's showing the momentum that the entire industry has right now. And you can see it in the booths, you can see it in the attendees, in the exhibitors, like just everyone is so excited and just wonderfully passionate. And it's really coming out in this event, which is great to see.
Well, it was amazing walking in here yesterday for the first time that I've been to a Lift Expo, let's call it. And walking in, I was blown away by the amount of not only people who are here walking around, but the amount of booths that you guys have filled.
Yes, yeah, I think we've got just over 200 booths right now. Going forward, it's probably going to be even more. I mean, again, the industry is expanding. What strikes me, so I've been with the company for about 6 months, and in the industry as well for about 6 months, and what really strikes me is the diversity of booths that are here as well. So I mean, you've got obviously your standard cannabis booths, the LPs are here, but then you've got all the other ancillary services that are here. Like, it really does display that this is a very large industry all under one roof right now, which is, again, it's exciting to see.
So the viewers that are watching the show, they know that this is a cannabis show. Can you explain to them in a little more detail what Lift is actually about?
Sure. Lift was formed about 4 years ago, and it identified a gap in the market, which was the LPs were trying to obviously sell their product, but weren't able to really talk to what they were trying to sell just because of the legislation that was in place. The consumers had no clue how to get product, and if they did know where to get the product, they didn't know what product to get or what was good for their particular ailment or whatever it was. So we filled that gap to try to educate both sides and create a bridge, I guess, across that information asymmetry that was happening there. So as a result, Lift has grown into a company that serves to better inform cannabis users. So in everything that we do, so I mean the expo here is a fantastic example of obviously as a user or an investor or whatever my role is, I'm coming into this, I'm getting educated about the entire cannabis industry. Outside of that, we have a reviews platform on our site which serves to allow users to explain how they have enjoyed their cannabis strains, what has actually worked for them, what hasn't worked. So then if I'm brand new and I've got whatever the ailment is or whatever the symptom that I'm looking to treat, I can actually find out what is working for others so that I can help myself out. And again, it helps all the LPs as well, because then they can start to talk to the efficacy of their products, which is just, again, a fantastic service. So it's bridging the information gap that exists.
That's interesting. And so one of the big things though is stigma. It's funny when you see clips on the news, they portray one type of user, I guess you could say. When I walked in here, I was amazed. Everyone's in suits. It's very kind of highbrow almost in the marijuana or cannabis world, and it is changing the stigma, and that's something you guys are also really trying to do, is change that around, correct?
Absolutely. I mean, the stats themselves don't actually bear out what that stigma is. And what I found fascinating, this is more of just a personal anecdote, is as I've come into the industry, I am getting a lot of people that are coming to me almost on a one-on-one basis just to say, hey, psst, by the way, I also use, or I've invested in, and it's this dirty little secret that everyone seems to have. So if everyone actually just stopped having the secret and would actually talk about it, the whole stigma would disappear in no time, which is, I find it funny. So I actually don't think it's going to take that long for the stigma itself to disappear, and for people just to realize that this is just another way to relax or enjoy whatever you want to enjoy.
Well, it's kind of funny because people go out to the bar, after a long work day, everyone meets up with their fellow workers, I guess, or whatever, and they all go and sit at the bar and they have a bunch of drinks, and that's totally acceptable to do that.
If I have a hard day at work and I go home and I'm saying I'm going to have a glass of wine, no one's going to bat an eye towards that. It's not going to take long for that to change, I don't think. I mean, to me, it is the natural progression, and there's enough people that use it already come July, whatever that magic date is, you're going to have another 4 or 5 million Canadians that are trying it out for the first time, or for the first time in however many years. It's not going to take long for it to disappear, for sure.
And it's cool. I had some of my family members walking around here. They're new to the whole idea, and they were kind of like, wow, it's an amazing, the information that's coming out, just seeing other people, it's users of all walks of life, and it doesn't matter who you are or what you do. This is something and it's coming to Canada, and there's going to be a lot of people, like you said, trying out for the first time.
And I think what's really going to make the industry and how the industry is going to look in 5 years is going to be completely different, and it's going to be in ways that we're probably not even imagining right now. And again, the other small story I've got is my mom, who has never used this stuff. Of course, very proud of her son, and her son's getting into this industry, and she has debilitating arthritis, and she's found this cream that is a cannabis-infused topical cream, and it is the only thing that has worked for her, and she never would have discovered that if she hadn't just sort of gone to try it out. So now my lovely mom, who's now a grandmother as of 9 months ago, is going into these dispensaries in Vancouver Island to get this topical cream. I mean, it's outstanding that this is happening, and it's not that unusual. Her social circle, there are others that use it as well, and again, it was kind of all hidden, which is ridiculous, but it's going to come out pretty quickly.
And the cool thing is the natural approach. It is totally different than the pharmaceuticals.
Totally natural, of course.
You talk to some of the dispensaries, there's organic aspects, they're changing everything around, and it's going to be a whole new way of Canada, I believe.
It totally is. I'm looking forward to it. I really am.
And so Lift itself, where do you see, pot or cannabis, medical marijuana, whatever you want to call it, is going to be legal in Canada. Where do you see Lift going from here as it kind of grows?
So the natural progression, I mean, obviously we want to continue to grow in Canada, and there is just so much opportunity here in various different avenues. But I mean, for the industry as a whole, Canada's in this wonderful position where we really are one of the pioneers in the world in legalizing this, and for all the mistakes that we make and all the learnings that we have, I mean, the rest of the world is watching. So there's a whole raft of other countries right now that are not that far behind where we are. And naturally, I think a lot of the industry, very likely Lift included, is going to take the models that we have, the knowledge that we have, the learnings that we have, and probably apply it into those other countries.
Kind of
the future of the industry.
Kind of the pioneers here in Canada.
Totally the pioneers, yeah.
So Lift is also, it's across Canada. It's not just a Vancouver-based thing right now. Can you tell us about how it's traveled throughout the country?
Yeah, we have two major events. So Vancouver, the one that we're in right now, and then there's another one every year in Toronto in May. So the next one, again, will be in May, which, again, timing-wise is fantastic, because it'll be about 2 months before the actual legalization of cannabis itself in this country. So the interest that we're seeing that's already been peaked here, that has really driven all the crowds and the excitement and the energy here, it is going to be that much more spinning, I guess, and up in Toronto. I mean, it's so that's our next step.
And Toronto is very similar in Canada, or in Vancouver. They're kind of pro, I would say. Toronto's a little more for it, and they have been for a while. It's a little more open there in some of the other provinces as well.
They are. Now, I mean, the openness in other provinces, and it varies. And again, the stats don't always bear it out. And most Canadians, the studies have shown, actually are very, very pro. So I mean, the bigger cities tend to be a little more sympathetic towards it in general. And you're right, Toronto is very similar to Vancouver in that sense. But what we have seen is across the country, there's a general acceptance of cannabis, whether it be medical or recreational.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. We are joined again by the COO, Craig Hudson, here at Lift Expo Vancouver 2018. Any closing remarks from you?
No, just please join us in May in Toronto, and this is going to be bigger and better, and it is going to be awesome, so please come on out.
Thank you for joining us.